All right, class, settle down. Class is in session. Everyone get to your seats. Hey there, YouTube. I'm Yukitsu. This is Yukitsu Times. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to Rimworld. So we've started up a new world since we blasted off from our last one. So in this particular playthrough, we've decided to go with a very desert world. It's on the coast, but it's desert. It's not got a whole lot of mountains. So as you can see, there are a ton of these little tiny rock formations that are not really complete. I don't really have a whole lot of information, but you can see a lot of exposed metal on them. That's one of the few benefits, is that you can more easily find the metal that is there, but there's a lot less of it sort of in the general sense. And as well, you can see there's a lot of the sand here, and one of the interesting things about sand, I can't put growing zones on it, so that is one of the things about that. So we have to find areas that we can start growing our crops in, and that's these limited areas here that you can see like this. Basically, you want to be growing along those sorts of things to make sure that you're basically getting all of the necessities that you require. One of the things that we can do early on is look at the map here, try and figure out where we want to go. It looks like this belt just north of where we're going to be landing is going to be just fine for us, but I don't see any geothermal along there right away. That could be a problem if we wanted to start our base up along this sort of stretch of land here. What the hell is this? Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we could grow along here where there's a lot of growing zone, but that would be potentially problematic. We could also grow down here where there's geothermal, but there's no growing zone there. So we might just have to pipe up power from those areas, which would be, you know, okay, but not ideal. But that's likely what we're going to have to do. What we can do is build in between those two zones so that we're getting the growing from here, and we're going to be building stuff down here as well. So that is probably what we're going to end up doing. Now if we look at the map, there is a huge lack of wood resources here. We've got cactus that we can cut down for a tiny bit of wood, but other than that we've basically got what we started with, and a few scraggly little trees that we're going to have to contend with, but that's about it. And you know, that's not really ideal. It's going to make it quite difficult for us to establish a base because early on we obviously cannot use the stone, which is quite abundant on this map. But what we can do is use the pre-generated bits of sandstone walls, other types of walls around here that we can use as a means to getting ourselves off the ground here at the very least. So we're going to use those as booster houses. We're going to figure out what we can get away with here. But I think that this one is going to be the easiest, obviously. All I have to do is throw on a door there. We're going to go ahead and furnish it. And that'll be someone's room there. That's big enough, I think, for now, but we're going to want to expand on that a little bit later. We can go ahead and add in structure. And we can plan this out even before people land. That is going to be perfectly fine. Yeah, this is fine. So this is going to be a big enough room. It's not ideal because we haven't really got... Well, actually, we can go like this, and this will work out just fine for us. So, there we go. That will save us quite a few resources right off the bat there, which is going to be quite good for us. Let's go ahead and also furnish these rooms here. And this is about what we can make using wood before we run out of it. Let's see what our colonists were like. I did tailor them a little bit, but not too much. That's Slick over here, who's got whatever it is he's got there. And looks like he is bad at both shooting and... Well, he's not bad, but he's average at everything. This person, everyone's pretty much average at whatever they do, so let's just have everybody pick up what they're right beside. Slick, looks like you're getting the knife. Oops. Alright, there we go. And that's going to be what everyone is armed with. Alright, so to start us off, we're going to have to chop down what little wood we can get. And that's going to be these scrubby little cactuses that we're going to be finding all over the place here. So it is better than nothing, but it is not a whole lot. So what we're going to do fairly quickly is go ahead and find somewhere that we don't really plan on using very much. And just take the whole thing. We're going to go ahead and grow trees here. Let's just go with birch trees. Should be okay. Let's delete that. And this little area here is just not really suitable for anything other than these sort of little trees, just because we're not going to be able to keep a kitchen beside it or anything like that, which is what we want to be doing. Alright, so we got Addie over here chopping down all these trees while everyone else finishes up these rooms real quick. And as you can see, we had enough wood to finish off these 3 rooms here, especially because we didn't have to do one of them. Alright, so that is functionally that. We now have to figure out what we're going to be doing for our kitchen area. Putting it in between here with this wall would be potentially be a good idea. What we should do is we should go ahead and claim all of these walls here that we've got near us. And that should be just a little bit of a convenience thing later on, but for now, let's not worry too much about how that is working. Now we can go ahead and figure out where we want to put our kitchen. And I think that we want to add as many rooms as possible directly adjacent to it so that it acts as insulation for it, since the way that insulation now works, kitchens are a lot harder to keep cool, so we're going to have to focus a little bit on that. We're going to go ahead and just, we can take away that one little bit there. Actually, no, let's go ahead and do it like this. Oh god. We are indeed down to 1 frame per second. There we go. Okay, so what we want to make sure is that we've got our little area for our plants to just come straight inside to the kitchen and the freezer area. So our freezer area is probably going to extend over to about, I suspect about here. Let's go ahead and put our kitchen area in here. Why can I not even... Alright, we all have to haul that out of the way just so that's not bothering us anymore. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go just haul that one. That's all we need. Next we have to figure out where we're going to put our dining area. We do want it so that it is going to provide, again, further insulation. So we can go ahead and put it... No, we don't want to put it here, actually. We want to vary it up a little bit compared to what we normally would be doing here. So let's go ahead and cancel this. Now, one of the things that's going to be a little bit awkward is actually figuring this out. We can put our dining area over here. It's taking up some of our harvestable area, but you know what, that is going to be okay by me. So what we have to figure out is how we're going to have our kitchen area lead into there. So what we can do is we can cancel this, cancel that, and what we can do, put that there, put that there. We can actually also and this is actually going to provide a little bit more insulation to prevent that heat from escaping. And that is much more important in this particular patch since the insulation is much wonkier now. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an area that we can use for a kitchen over here. But I kind of want... Yeah, this is one of the trickier parts in the new patch, is figuring out how you're going to do this particular thing, but let's go ahead and put that here. Alright, we'll have our door over here and over here. So that is going to make it so that we can have an eating area, fairly large communal, and we've got this large area where we can store food. We will need to have a cooler over here, and we can put that right over here. There we go. Now, this is quite a lot of wood that we're requesting people use, which is going to be a bit of a problem potentially. I do suspect, but hopefully it'll work out okay in the end. We're going to switch over from metal walls for the next part here, just because we have to sort of use a variety of materials here. We're going to go ahead and put that there, out to here, and then around like that. And this is going to be our work area, so it's going to be another sort of generic room area. We can walk up there. What we don't want is to have our people walking through the kitchen area to get into the work area, so those are not going to have a door leading from one to the other. And as you can see, this is a fairly wonky looking setup here, but it should work just fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and also zone ourselves up our growing area, first growing area. And we don't need too big a one, just like that ought to do. And we'll go ahead and start growing strawberry plants, just because I do like those. No particular reason. And as you can see, we also need to consider power right away. So power switch is now a new thing. It lets you sort of toggle on and off power for things in blocks, depending on where they are along the line. So that's going to be quite an interesting and important addition to the game as far as it goes, because you now actually have to manually power things, which sucks, but you know, here's the way it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and go with production here, butcher table, and that can go up there. And we can go with a cook stove right over here as well. Put a space between them. Why not? And we could put a cook stove up here later, just sort of give us a little bit of extra future proofing. We do know that there's enough room in here for 2 chefs. Don't want too many cooks in your kitchen, otherwise bad things apparently will happen. Alright, so let's go ahead and start working on our steel production, since we do need quite a bit of it for the things that we got queued here. All that. Let's also go ahead and get a little bit of silver. There is quite a lot that has to be done at this point in time. We're just going to rush through as much of it as possible. And there we go. And let's make sure that everybody is available for mining. One of the other things I need to do here, only one person on hunting, that is good. Only one person on cooking, that's good. Alright, this looks okay. Actually, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Now, there is quite a bit of steel on the map just around here, so we don't have to worry too badly. But getting as much of that as possible, as quickly as possible, is going to be quite useful. Alright, so we got a cactus that's growing up quite nicely down here as well. Let's go ahead and chop it down. All those cactuses. You just sort of click and drag across the entire map and you'll find all the little bits of wood that you can get. It's just that it is going to be quite rare. That's actually a pretty good stash of wood there. We're not going to call this Hurrah. I think we're going to call this Hubheim. And the reason is that apparently this game has added the ability to produce alcohol, so we're going to see if that's true or not. Let's add an infinite order to butcher creatures. Should help us out a little bit later. And we can go ahead and add our zoning for this area here. And we can go ahead and change this so that we're only allowing in food and manufactured resources. We don't need weapons apparel, but we do need body parts and certain types of corpses. We don't want humanoid corpses here, or mechanoid ones. But at this current state of the game, things do degrade, like clothes, if you leave them outside and other stuff like that. So we're going to have to make our stuff with that in consideration. And you'll see how I'm going to be dealing with that in a little bit here. Let's go ahead and also add our battery. We're going to have one in our workroom. We'll need power running to it. And that is an artificer just visiting, that's fine. And the hunter is visiting, that is also fine. I'm wondering why this is not powered. Well, I guess it's because it's night now, so these are not generating power. That's fine. Alright, let's go ahead, bills, add bill, cook fine meal. We'll have unlimited fine meals being produced. Since, again, there are the resources nearby, and we are not going to be going hungry anytime soon. This we need to set down to minus about 9. That should be okay. We can't actually cool this area just yet, but I mean, we're not doing anything else with the power, so might as well have that on. Got a guy named Maker visiting around. I think he was in one of my other cities. It's like, haha, you guys are starting off, that sucks for you. Alright, let's go ahead and add this to our stockpile of orders here. We've got just a tiny bit left in this room before we've got a full wall. There we go. I just decided to leave it as is and go to sleep. That's kind of funny. Alright. I like how there's just this one potato here. We'll leave that there just for posterity. Yeah, we have got low food. That is indeed the case. Let's start making sure that we've got people on plant growing. Yep, we have. Okay. So that should come up in priorities a little bit sooner. Now our food is going to last a little bit longer since we have got these packaged meals here still. They'll last a couple more days. Should be relatively fine. Now we should have focused a little bit harder on just getting our refrigerated area finished here, but as you can see, nice and cool. That is working. And let's go ahead and put in a hunt order for these dromedaries. It's basically camels, I think, but I'm not positive. Okay, so who is our hunter? Slick is our hunter. He has a knife, actually. Let's take him off that. And let's make it, who's got our rifle? So if it's, it must be Squirt. Okay, that's a weird name. Alright, Squirt, you're the one who's going to be hunting. Good luck with that. Alright, so the gun sounds quite new. Do I have this set so that I can store... I don't want to be storing, oops, I want to store food and manufacture, not raw resources. I would love it if you could actually hit something, but I think you should probably just go to bed soon. Alright, there we go. Alright, well, whatever. Apparently doesn't mind staying up late and shooting at these things. Must be having fun. Alright, let's go ahead and make ourselves the steel table here. And we can make it there. We can make another one over here, actually. We'll put that one down first. We don't need two for yet, but put down a bunch of steel stools. That should be fine, and we'll go ahead and we'll make ourselves a room at the back of this area here. So once again, taking advantage of buildings that we already have so that we can use those walls, and again, focusing on trying to keep ourselves insulated so that our buildings are sharing as much as possible of the burden of keeping this room area cool. And it'll also help keep that room itself cool. So as you can see, we've got a very convoluted plot out here, but it's going to help quite a bit in keeping this little refrigerator area colder. As you can see, we're keeping it at -3, -2, even though we don't have much battery power. So that should be fine. Alright, so we're working as well on making sure that we've got beds here, so this is going to be a spare bedroom. And for production, let's go ahead and make a steel research table. And let's go ahead into miscellaneous and make ourselves a comms console for this area. There we go. So all this is coming together quite nicely, quite quickly. I want to make sure that we're doing all of this quite fast, but we do need these strawberries to get planted and start growing. We have got pirates incoming pretty soon, I suspect, so we're going to want to build a turret as well. We don't need a turret for our very first pirate, of course, but, you know, you do want to make that a consideration. Alright, so... And we do need a little bit of vegetables so that we can start working on our fine meals, but, still got quite a few survival package meals, it looks like. Alright. Squirt seems to be a real go-getter as far as not sleeping goes. Maker's just... What are you doing out here? He's got a bad back, he's frail, and he's got a scratch scar. Okay, well... Oh, we got an escape pod here. Okay, I think we can also capture Maker. Well, either way, let's set that for prisoners. Let's have you go rescue Dark Eye. What kind of person are you? You've got a bunch of cuts and scratches. As you can see, clothes deteriorates now. Maker just got up and is just like, well, whatever. What, isn't this a prisoner bed? Okay, well that worked. I don't know why. This room should be prisoner set. I don't know. Well, whatever. Oh, I think it's because he's not technically a prisoner. Alright, well, solar flare. Let's shut down our electronics. That's fine. Okay, so I think this guy's not technically a prisoner, so... He's a guest. Ah, okay. Well, we'll give him medicine. I wonder if we can recruit him, though. Our colonist is idle and we need defenses. Yeah, I mean, it's not too big a deal right now, so we'll still just ignore that for a little bit, but let's figure out what Addie is doing and why she's not working. Alright, well, we'll put you on growing as well as the stuff that you've got, so that should help a little bit with that particular problem. Especially because we're having such a hard time getting things to grow here. Okay, so he's not got the best of medical care, but, you know, up he gets and away he goes. So, apparently people who are in a crashed escape pods no longer join your colonies, unless you, I guess, arrest them? Next time I'll try that. We'll arrest them next time and see how that works. But, you know, it seemed impolite to do at the time. Anyhow, next up we want to get our orbital trade beacon up and running. Let's go ahead and put it right here. And there is going to be a reason for us to be putting it there. It's not just craziness. We want it to be adjacent directly to that building. Alright, so we got our first influx of fresh strawberries. Lovely. So we can start working on these medium meals, which is great. Also start chopping down some of these cacti cropping up here. It'll take us quite a while longer before we can actually harvest any of those other plants, but that is perfectly acceptable. Let's see, what else have we got for hunting around here? Is there more dromedaries? That would be fantastic, of course. Doesn't seem to be. There are some mega scarabs around, but they're quite durable. They're actually kind of scary. Let's unforbid these, just because. Just in case. If we look in here, you know, it's outdoors, it's 21 degrees. This room is getting quite a lot of cooling from the refrigerator room, but the refrigerator room is holding in the heat very, very well, or holding out the heat very, very well. So that is quite a good thing for us. Alright, and it looks like most of our sort of planting efforts and so on and so forth have gone quite well. We've got frozen fine meals here, starting to come underway, which is great. And we finally started getting squirt over here mining, which is also great. Alright. We just want to get as much minerals as possible. I'm wondering if there's any gold on this map. I'm assuming there will be a little bit of it, but it's quite hard to get. Okay, there's tons of steel over here, so that is at least positive. Now, this area could potentially have something quite dangerous, so we're not going to do anything to mess with these little huts over here just yet. We're going to wait for that before we do anything like that. Alright, and we should have trading capacity quite soon, which is what we really want to be getting fairly quick. Slick, what are you wearing here? You're wearing jacket and pants. You got a bite scar. When did that happen? Maybe you always had that. Alright, trade ship. Well, we can't do anything about a trade ship right now, and especially not a slave trader, so we'll leave that out. Now, they've added quite an interesting thing to this orbital trade beacon, which we'll get into quite soon, but for now, let's hit research up. And what we want for now is just stone cutting. And the reason that this is quite important for us is that very early on we're going to want to get that so that we can start working on walls that are going to be from a resource that's quite prevalent around here, these stone blocks. There's quite a lot of them. Now, this is quite nice. Great stockpile, perfect. Now, one of the things that we need to do around this particular stockpile is we're going to go with structure, and we're going to go with steel wall here. We might as well. And we're just going to go like this. And we're going to completely cover up our trade area, and this actually has a pretty good reason. Currently, since so many items degrade if they're left out in the open, it's a very good idea for you to cover up your trade area so that those items don't degrade. We will want a little bit of support here, and I do like symmetry, so we're going to do it like that. And we're going to put a door up there and a door down there. That's just going to make this whole area into a coherent trade zone, and that is going to be... Okay, so this guy just dropped right in on top of us while we were talking about everything else. Okay, so let's go ahead and have everybody recruited. I think that we're going to have you run back up here, and just we're going to go slowly here. Cargo pods. Well, what have we got here? Potatoes. Alright, well that's peculiar and not particularly useful. It must be this guy's potatoes. He dropped ahead of time to make it so that he'd have a little bit of food when he came to murder my people. Okay, so he's actually now afraid, so that was fast. Alright, well he's gonna get away, but that's okay. Right, so that could have been someone that we could have probably pretty easily captured, but we're not going to worry about it too much. Now, this particular stockpile, we're going to go ahead and make it so that it allows for pretty much everything. We're going to make it so that this one is critical importance, and this one is going to be preferred. So, food will go to this one naturally, but everything else will go to this one. And we're going to pretty much allow everything in here, except for corpses. And this trade area is going to be something that we can turn on or off the roof. Okay, so we've got another person who's crash landed over here. Let's check your health and all that other stuff. You've been beat up pretty badly. Okay, so what we're going to try and do is arrest this person specifically. Who's awake? Slick, you're awake. Okay, so we're going to capture as the option instead of doing the other thing. And this means I think that we're going to be able to recruit them as one of ours. So once he's got their blue over there, we're going to go ahead and to prisoner. Gets medicine, try to recruit, and friendly chat. So the difficulty is not very high for these people, which is good. Slick, you're going to... Oh. Slick, how come I can't prioritize these? Interesting. Probably because the construction materials are missing. Okay. Well, either way it goes. Okay, so Blue's getting some medical treatment over there. That should help quite a bit. Poor quality both times. That's bad. Well, one good quality. One more good quality. Okay. Okay, so it looks like she'll be okay, I think. Hopefully. This eclipse is going on for an awfully long time. It's completely sucked up all of our electricity, basically. But you know what? That is acceptable, considering we don't really have much alternative situation. I've got some people visiting, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and use zoning to solve our problem here. Oops. Add a no-roof region. So, just in case, we're going to turn this into a no-roof region for now. And the reason is that I wasn't sure if we'd have the support pillar up in time. Once those are in, we can add in the, remove the no-roofing region. So, we do want this area to be roofed, but what we're going to do is actually remove the roofing and no-roofing thing as the trade beacon comes into play. So, that's going to help us quite a bit as far as that goes. It's just ran in, used our table. It's like, got a nice table. Just ran in, used it, and ran away. It's fantastic. Need beds? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just change this to a colonist bed. How are you for health? You're okay now. So you're going to go ahead and eat a meal. That's good. And Blue is our newest member, who is completely naked, if I recall. Yep, you got a door key. That is it. You're That's a little bit awkward, but whatever. Alright, so let's go ahead and increase our growing zones here. We're going to want some cotton, at the very least. So let's go ahead and grow cotton. And while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and add another growing zone. We're going to grow a bunch of devil strand. So, you know what? We're going to even make this a bigger devil strand area, but we're going to make it over here, actually. Just way over here. And the reason is that we can just sort of grow it and forget about it in huge amounts. We've got year-round growing, so the devil strand is actually quite practical for us. It'll grow quite easily all year round. Alright, so we are going to need another room basically now, but that is perfectly acceptable. For now though, let's go ahead and make a tailor's workbench. Let's do that. We'll add another power cable that's going to extend up through this way. There we go. And things are going pretty smoothly so far. Go with steel walls here. And like that. Alright. More sea urchin villagers visiting, that's fine. I'm not going to worry too much about that, but we are going to start thinking about security, so we will put down at least one steel turret. And we're going to just basically put them around this side here. It's not going to be great, but it is going to be some security, and we'll be able to use these with our colonists pretty effectively, I suspect. And the reason is, like, we just want to retreat if those guys show up, anyone like bandits or whatever shows up. We're just going to have our guys retreat over towards where the guns are, hide out over there. And we can actually take Blue off of growing. Actually, Blue's amazing at growing, so we're not going to. Addie, the housemate, we can, but she's cooking, so we can leave her on that. And it looks like Squirt and Slick are both like that, but let's take Squirt off there. Trade ship is passing by. They're a combat supplier. Now, this would actually be really quite useful. Who is our best talker here? That'd be Addie. So we'll take you off. Well, we could always do with a second warden. But let's take Addie over here and have her call these guys up and see if we've got enough silver right now. We've got over 1,000, so you never know. And we could get ourselves another gun, basically, for our new person here. Looks like these are all a little bit too expensive, but we should buy a little bit more medicine here. We're just going to get 11 of these for now, and that's just a small amount. It looks like we didn't actually have to take our roof off here. All it did is stop that from landing in that roofed area. Interesting. Alright. So we do need to chop down just a tiny bit more wood, it looks like. Always a hard thing to find wood on these maps. Alright. And then we've got our first defense bit up. That's fine. It's lovely. Someone needs to haul that medicine into somewhere else. Doesn't matter where necessarily, but somewhere else. Alright, there we go. So this Devil Strand is going to take an awful long time before it's actually grown, and you know, you can see it's taking quite a lot of labor to actually plant it, but I mean, getting it out of the way now, might as well. Alright. Alright, so we've got pirates that are attacking immediately. There's only 3 of them, so that's not as bad as it could be, but we have got one of our turrets still being built, so that's not ideal. Let's see how these guys are attacking. We should probably just recruit everybody right away here. Let's go ahead and move everybody down here. So we got 2 people with guns here. We got Squirt and Addie. Could you move her up here? These guys basically have no weapons, so it's going to be as it is. Now you can see that that one turret's been pretty strategically positioned, so they're basically firing at it. We can go with miscellaneous here. Let's go with some graves. We can dig the graves into the sand, so that's fine. And we can undraft Slick over here, and he'll go construct that. I wish Squirt could hit this guy. It'd be awfully nice. There we go, that's a good hit. Nope, that's not good. Alright, so everybody, this bed is now going to be set for prisoners because we don't have a door for this other one. That'll be transferred over to someone else. Let's have all of you guys available for whatever, and we're going to capture Andy the pirate. Perfect. So that worked out perfectly. This is now your shotgun. Actually, no. They're both poor, so yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and have you strip this guy because you're naked. So you're going to go ahead and wear the t-shirt and the pants. And let's unforbid that pistol. So we don't particularly need her to wear the jacket. It's quite hot out, so we don't particularly need that. Okay, as a prisoner, you are going to get medicine, friendly chats, and we're going to try and recruit you. So that is how that's going to be. So they did destroy our turret, which is very unfortunate, but you know what? It did its job quite admirably. Man, we really need a better medic. Alright, so mostly good. That's fine. Lost our combat supplier. That's fine. Oh, we got all the men going nuts, but that's okay. It's not the worst thing. Now, they should be hauling this guy off into a grave, but it doesn't seem like they want to. Let's have Squirt prioritize that. There we go. Yeah, and things are doing pretty well here as far as our little colony goes. We're just about finished planting all of that goddamn Devil Strand. It's a lot of it, but it is quite useful to have. Alright, let's go with structure here. Steel wall. And, there we go. And let's go ahead and haul all this stuff out of there. Just so it's out of people's way. Alright, perfect. Now, one of the things that I can do with these turrets is if I had more power requirement, I could actually make it so that they're on one of those switches so I could easily turn them on or off, but currently we're building up a larger amount of power than I would otherwise normally have built. So that's helping us quite a bit as far as that goes. How is everybody's gear lasting? It looks like the gear is still holding up quite well as far as the durability, so we don't need to have this cloth too badly, but it is nice to have. Alright, and we'll go ahead and furniture, build another bed in there. And we just need enough wood for the stupid door here, which is a little bit annoying. Alright, so we need to find some more beasts of some sort to kill here. We're running out of meat quite quickly, and since we don't have a whole lot of luxury meals available to us, we'll need to find someone who can, there's something to hunt here. Well, there's potatoes down here. That's not really, oh, that's rice actually. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, either way, I don't see any dromedary beasts or anything like that. It'd be nice if you could actually, like, farm raise them or whatever, but that's currently not in the game. We could find some iguanas or something, potentially. Let's look around a little bit for some lizards that we might be able to eat. All I see are mega scarabs, and they're quite nasty, actually. As in, I mean they're quite difficult to kill. I'm not sure if they taste bad or not. I would imagine that a mega scarab would taste bad. Let's put this on slow moving while we're looking around here. Let's see. Yeah, I do not see where we would find anything that we could use for meat. Now, apparently it is okay to feed your colonists raw strawberries, as in they'll eat it and be relatively okay with that, but I'm not sure I believe that. But we'll continue on growing them in any event. Strawberry plant there. One of these days they're going to add in like dietary variety, where they need to have like a variety of different foods to eat, otherwise they get go insane. So if you like monoculture it, it's going to just screw you over. Alright, let's mine all that out. These potatoes are going a little bit bad, but that is to be expected. We're pretty much out of meat here. Not going to be able to make very many more fine meals. What the hell happened here? What the... What is going on here? Looks like there's just this gigantic splodge of urine over one of our strawberry plants. I think that might be exactly what happened there. Well, either way, let's change this from... Oh, that is preferred. Alright. Well, looks like we're not going to get a lot of hauling jobs done that we need done. But we do have a lot of work that needs to be done, so I'm not surprised it's not getting done. We don't have enough people to really have a dedicated hauler either. Alright, so wardening, we're going to switch it to just being Addy. Addy, we're also going to change it so that you are much more likely to do wardening right now, since we've got enough food for now. For a little while. Because Andy being working with us would be a lovely thing, even though I don't think he's necessarily the most competent. Only 21% chance. Let's see here. Yeah, you know, he wouldn't be the most competent person on our team, but he'd be a good in a fight, which is a nice thing. Alright, more travelers, that's fine. We do need this bit of wood, but looks like we finally finished off this stupid field of growing, but that is to be expected. Let's see if we can chop any of these, not yet. Alright, let's chop that then. And do we have anyone that can do research? We have, but no one's very good at it. Okay. Well, we should try and get a better researcher if at all possible. We'll have to do a bill for... Oh, he did join us. Okay, set for colonists. Hunter lacks weapon. We do want to take him off of hunting. Oh, he is the better hunter, so we'll make him our designated hunter. Hunker. Yeah, right. And let's have him grab that pistol over there. It's not a great one, but he can make do with it pretty easily. It looks like they're putting all the cloth in the fridge for some reason, but that's probably because I just didn't properly allocate those things. That's fine. We'll go ahead and make this place... We'll actually make it so that textiles and artillery shells are put in our trade zone. There we go. Alright, so I think they cut down some of those cactuses, but I don't see the results of it. Alright, let's go ahead and find more wood to chop, if at all possible. There we go, a little bit. Alright, blue, around you as well. Now, we do want to get a lot of this stuff hauled into somewhere secure because I don't want it to degrade. I'm not sure if iron does degrade, but or steel rather, but you know, I think it's actually fine. But you know, just in case, Looks like we're having a little bit of trouble keeping our cold room cold, but that is fine. You know, I think we'll be okay. Let's go into power here. Add a little bit more power generation. Wind turbines, I think, got a boost, so we'll try out one of those. Where should we put this? I think this area is not going to get used for anything else. Put that there. And haul this out of the way. Perfect. And we have got ourselves another room over there, which is good. Ooh, we got people eating raw meat, unfortunately, which is not ideal, but it is the way things are right now. I think I see some iguanas here. Yeah, there's an iguana. Let's go ahead and hunt that. Let's see if we can find any more dromedaries around the map here. Obviously, it is harder to find meat in the general sense on this particular map, but, you know, you do what you can. No, I do not see any more dromedaries. There is one more lizard over here. Going to town with that pistol of his. And we need to set a bill here, add a bill for simple meals. We're just going to add in like 20 simple meals, I think. 21, either way. Alright, trade ship, it's combat supplier. We're not going to be too concerned about that, but Andy, once you're done firing at that lizard, let's have you go and well, he's gonna go eat some strawberries, which is fine, but let's have you call these guys before you go to sleep. Alright, so looks like we don't have anything that we can really sell to them, but we could buy a little bit of medicine again, which is good, as always. This is unlimited builds with Butcher Creature, right? Yeah. Okay, we're going to put a hold on the simple meals for just a little while here, so that she'll cook the lizard up. Alright, and that's going to just turn into a couple fine meals, but not very many. Fine lizard meal, that's kind of gross, but you know, who am I to say? I've never really eaten that much lizard. Alright, so this will solve that problem just a little bit, but not tremendously. 4 lizards is not a great meat source. Alright, so that should be okay. As you can see, we've got very little meat. It's leading to smaller amounts of other things here, like luxury meals, but that's fine. Yeah, we just went through all our fine meals instantly, which sucks, but is what happens. And anyway, that's going to be our episode for today. We've gotten quite a lot of stuff done right off the bat. As you can see, it is very different when you're playing on a desert map like this. But yeah, I hope you found this episode enjoyable, and of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time.